I get paid bi-weekly, right? It's like I gotta make my weed stretch, right? I'm at like part 11 right now. Like I'm just not getting paid yet. So to make it stretch and last longer, I've just been cutting it with Benadryl, you know? I call it shadow grass. You guys should try it. It's fun. If you ever want to just take something, just sit there in your kitchen and go, what was that? To nothing for 4 hours? Shadow grass is your go-to, right? You ever thought your shadows were talking shit about you behind your back and you wanted to know for sure? Just a little bit of Equate from Walgreens will do it, you know? Here's how you do it. Thank you for asking, by the way. Here's how I like to do it, all right? I take a cheese grater, and then I take my bowl, and then I just very gently grate the Benadryl on top of my bowl. I just keep going like an Olive Garden waiter, you know? I just keep doing it. I'm like, all right, tell me when. 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 Shadow grass, right? If you ever wanted a microdose schizophrenia, shadow grass. Super cheap, right? Way cheaper than mushrooms, DMT, whatever, man. It's crazy. You can get anywhere, right? I like grocery shopping high. Not on shadow grass. That'd be a nightmare. But there's no way. I'd just be like, I need the mall security guard. Whoever you are, dude, please come here. Right? I like smoking weed and going grocery shopping because, like, why make a chore when it can be a sport, you know? I'll tailgate the big event, too. That's just me smoking weed in my car before I walk into the grocery store. Oh, my nuisance, right? Here's what I do, okay? Like, I go in there and, like, I don't want to talk to anyone because if I talk to them, it's going to be a train wreck, right? If I'm high and I'm in the grocery store, if someone comes up to me and talks to me, I'm going to act like a toddler that works there. They're just making small talk. They're like, wow, the weather today. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to get cosmic brownies. Last time they didn't have cosmic brownies, so I got honey buns. And they're like, what the fuck is happening? Don't do that, right? So here's what I do. I put on noise-canceling headphones, okay? And it's kind of like a service animal's vest. It's like, dude, no pet, please. Don't touch me right now. I've trained so hard for this moment my entire life. In and out, please, right? Put on the headphones, and then you have to go to self-checkout. That's, like, the most important part, okay? Because I've gone to a human before. Because, like, when I'm high, my heart's in the right place, right? I go grocery shopping, and I'm like, I see the people in, you know, the lane, and I'm like, I'm bringing jobs back to this country. And that's dumb. Don't do that, right? One time I went through, and, like, at the very end, she was, like, had all my stuff, like, rang up, and then she hit me with this question. She's like, would you like a bag? And I was like, I don't know how to answer that. I just broke down. I was like, I've forgot my bag, but I want my bag. Do you have my bag? It's like, you know what? I'm out of here. I don't even care if I paid for the groceries. I'm just leaving. You can keep those. Merry Christmas, right? So go to self-checkout is what I'm trying to say, all right? And last time I went to self-checkout and I was high, I was, you know, at the very end, I was putting my bags away. And I had the bags this time, right? And then as I was grabbing them, I grabbed my car keys and I tried locking the self-checkout register with my key fob. I just kept clicking it over and over and over again, right? Again, I have the noise-canceling headphones on, so I could not hear that I'd parked so close to the front door that everyone in the self-checkout can hear my car going boop, 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 over and over again, right? And then I looked around and everyone in self-checkout's looking at me because it does not take long to figure out who's doing that, right? So I popped one of the headphones off and I just kept doing it and I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. That's happening the same time that I'm hitting this button. And I'm just like looking for friends and I'm like, who else is high right now? This is crazy. I figured out it was me, though, all right? And, like, I had to think fast because for some reason I did not want these strangers to know how I'm an idiot, right? So I very slowly just pulled the headphones entirely off, and I grabbed my bags, and I just looked at everyone and went, machines, right? And then I just left. That's all you got to do, right? One time I was at the grocery store, and I was sober for this one, okay? I can understand if I was not and where everything got mixed up. But I was sober, and I was walking into the grocery store, and a woman was walking out of the grocery store, and she had bags in her hands, and then she stopped when she saw me, and she went, forgot the milk. And then she walked back inside. And I was like, now hold on a second. How about you tell me what you just saw in me that made you think milk? You just rounded the corner and you're like, Wisconsin. And like, I just went back like, stuff. You forgot the milk. You forgot your manners too. How about that, you know? I wanted to follow her though to see what kind of milk she was going to get. Best case scenario, it's like something flattering like skim or almond, right? More realistically, she was like 2%. And cream cheese and butter and everything. I've thought about it. I'm like, I could follow her, right? I'll get real close, and then I was like, I can't do that because, like, in the dairy section, the doors are clear. So, like, she'll just see me behind one of them. What milk you getting? It's like, I think it's the Cosmic Brownie kid from yesterday. This is so weird. All right. So that's that, right? My dad just started doing edibles, okay? And he's never done any drugs, ever. He's never done anything. He doesn't even drink, okay? I think I look like a guy that has a dad that gets pretty fucked up regularly, right? But I'm the one teaching him, right? He just started doing edibles because back home it became legal, okay? So, like, he just goes and he has a blast because it's legal now. Like, he goes to dispensaries, but he calls them dealerships. And I'm like, you can't have cute nicknames for them, right? That's ridiculous. I found out he was getting high when he picked me up from the airport for Christmas, okay? When we were in his car, we were driving, and I was like, hey, Dad, what's new in town? I haven't been here in a while. And then he just kept driving. Just did not answer, right? He just, for so long, just mean-mugging the windshield, right? He just kept driving. So much time had passed. Like, I forgot I asked the question. He forgot I was his son. Like, that kind of situation. And he just kept driving, and finally he answers, right? He just goes, Pizza Hut's making a comeback. Like, I still don't know what to say to that. At the time, I just said good. Like they've been getting out pizzaed for years, and like that was their whole thing. No one's gonna out pizza the Hut, right? And I asked him, like, are you good right now? And he's just like, I'm on drugs. Like, you want me to drive? And he looked at me and goes, I thought you were driving. So let's pull over real fast. Figure this out, right? 2 weeks I stayed with him at his place for Christmas, right? 2 whole weeks. I stayed with him, and every single morning at 8:30, he would wake up and just scamper off to the kitchen. 8:30 in the morning. And I asked him, yes, scamper, very good choice of words, right? And I asked him, like, why are you waking up at 8:30 in the morning? And he goes, oh, I pop a gummy then. Like 8:30 in the morning? Before responsibilities even happen? Like, do you even know if your car's in the driveway still? How about we start there, and then if it is there, then you can get high. Like, what? Why so early? And then he said one of the smartest things I've ever heard, which is a pretty low bar, but he's like, that's just more time to get high. Like, have you ever found out your dad not only getting high, but he's already addicted in one sentence? Like, that was sound math, too. I wanted to be so mad about it, but 2 weeks, right? I was just there every single day, right? Like, I do drugs, okay? I've never once set an alarm to get high. I feel like that takes away from the entire experience, if you ask me. Like, setting an alarm to get high is something people of good credit do. It's like 8:30 in the morning, I'm going to pop a gummy. 2 p.m., I'm going to buy a fucking house because I can, you know? I don't know. I came home at 2 a.m. one time after a show, and I found him in the kitchen deep frying Little Caesars leftovers. He had a whole operation. Like, I came in, and then he just had, like, the pizza on the counter, and he was rolling it flat with a rolling pin. He was grating cheese. He was putting taco seasoning on top of it. He was rolling them up, putting toothpicks in them, battering them, and frying them. That sounds pretty good, right? It's hard to disown my father-child in this situation when he's creating genius shit, right? And I asked him, like, what are you doing? And he's like, I call it the pizzerito. I was like, is this about that Pizza Hut business at the airport? Like, do you have a new job I don't know about? Are you working research and development for the Hut? Like, what is happening? Because I got Taco Bell packets in my car. Let's see where this night goes, Shane, you know? And boy, did it go. It was a lot of fun, right? He was high on Christmas. I've never been high on Christmas because I have respect for Santa Claus still, right? But I know he's not real. You just got to partake, right? But he was just high on Christmas, and like he also took it upon himself to be the guy that handed out presents on Christmas. No one asked him to do that, especially knowing his condition. We never would have asked him to do that, because for like 2 hours he just kept going. I think this one's got your name on it. Like I don't even think you can read ever again, to be honest. This feels permanent. But give me that, thank you. You know, I just think it was weird. He was high on Christmas, and like we're Jewish, so like why were you even in the first place, right? You know, my Christmas present from him last year was edibles, by the way. He got me edibles for Christmas. And I had to act surprised like I couldn't smell it through the wrapping paper the entire time. I was just messing with him. I grabbed it. I'm like, oh, what's in it? What's in it? And he's like stomping his feet like a dog. He's like, open it, open it. And then when I opened it, he looked me right in my eyes and he goes, oh, how did that get in there, huh? I was like, hopefully you know, this is a weird setup otherwise. Crazy time to find out Santa is real, because I've been asking for this shit for 15 years. So buckle up. We're about to get a lot of back order, you know? It's crazy. I don't even like doing edibles. That's the sad part. I love smoking weed. I don't like doing edibles because it's a different drug, right? Like when I take an edible, my body's check engine light comes on. Does anyone else feel this way? Does it mess you up? I take an edible, and then for 8 hours, I'm like, wow. How long has my knee been hurting like this? Oh, God, I have a second one. Sitting down today, you know? I don't like doing that. But I couldn't break my dad's heart on Christmas and been like, Dad, I do cocaine now. So, like, when's that coming? St. Patty's Day? That'd be pretty fun. I don't know, man. My girlfriend and I just moved into our first place together. And it's going, okay, you guys hate her. That's nice. Babe, don't know what you did to Tyler. Don't ever go, though. We just moved into our first place together, okay? And this is like the woman of my dreams. Like, I told her the other day, I'm like, I love you more than my favorite piece of Tupperware, you know? You feel like, yeah. Like, I love you so much. Like, it's a strong second. So, like, don't get dirtier than the Tupperware. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise I'm going to love that thing more than you, okay? But I love her so much. But I don't love her cats that she brought. I have 2 cats now, and I've never lived with cats. Dog guy the entire time, right? Now I have 2 cats. And the best way I can summarize that, living with 2 cats, it's like having a one-night stand that ends with 2 STDs. Because I have to tell people about these things before they come over to my house now. Like, I have to call friends and update them. They're like, hey, man, change of plans. I have cats. They're like, oh, my God, you have cats? You didn't have cats 2 weeks ago. What happened? I'm like, my girlfriend gave them to me. I don't know. Wash your hands around here. That's all I got to say. It's weird living with them, right? Like, I forget I have them because I'm just so used to not having these things. Like, I'll come home, and they'll just be on the couch, and they're looking at me like I'm being too loud already. Like, they're just angry about, like, just living with 2 small librarians. It sucks. Like, I come home, and they're just sitting there. They're just like, you're being too loud already. Your books are overdue. Probably because you're a slow reader. Does she know you're a slow reader? You're not our real dad. Just shit like that all the time, right? Just so sassy. Always so sassy. The other day, my girlfriend gave me permission to discipline them in front of them. They were being bad. It's not like she was like, and if you want to just, you know. She's like, if they're acting up, right? But one of them was acting up, so she picked up the cat, and she was just like, no. I hope you know he has permission to discipline you now. And like, I don't even think he knows his name, so... Also, thank you for making me sound like their stepdad in this situation. This is Cody. He's going to be around a lot more, okay? He has permission to discipline you. It's a weird situation to be in, too, because like, now I have to talk to these things like they are my stepkids. You want to know how that goes? Well, here's how it went. I tried leveling with one of them, right? We having a moment watching TV on the couch, and I just leaned over. I'm like, so, your mom tells me you like licking your asshole. A lot of job placement in that field, huh? You gonna go strip at the glitter box when you grow up? Like, what are you gonna do? No, thank you, right? I was also like, discipline's a harsh word for a cat. Like, what does that even what does that even mean? And she's like, pretty much if they're acting up, you grab like a spray water bottle, and you just spray them with it, and they think it's acid. And they hate it, and they run away. And I was like, that is cruel, and I am not going to do that, right? And then about 20 minutes later, that cat was acting up again. And guys, I love spraying my cats. It's worth getting the cat just to spray it, you know what I mean? I walk around my apartment with a holster on myself now. I just, little thing, I just whistle like a cowboy. You fucking do it, right? Sometimes I spray myself in the mouth, make them think I'm a god, you know? I'm the daddy around here, right? You're in my world now. We have a popcorn apartment, right? Like a popcorn ceiling. Popcorn apartment. We just live in a bag of popcorn. My landlord's Orville Redenbacher. Does anyone here have popcorn ceiling in their place? You guys are all better than me? All right. You guys got paid already. You're like, we didn't. Fuck, there's not even the rent check. We don't even have popcorn. This is crazy, right? Fuck. All right. Whatever, Tyler. You're familiar with the concept of popcorn ceilings, though? Okay. All right. Whoa, easy. Yes. Yes, we lock the windows and roll them up when we drive past those places, but we have popcorn ceiling, okay? And, like, when they sprayed the popcorn ceiling, they gave us the landlord special. Like, they thought it was just paint, you know? Like, they sprayed the walls with it, too. Like, when I did the tour, the landlord pointed out like it was another feature. He's like, you can see popcorn insulation on the ceiling and the walls, and then just kept walking. And I'm like, I don't think that's supposed to be textured like that. And he's like, it's cheap. And then he just kept walking. And I was like, all right, I guess you guys hate us. This is nice. We signed the lease, you know, so that's on us. But what I did not know when I moved in was that they also sprayed the master bedroom ceiling fan with popcorn. The fan blades are popcorn. It camouflages with the ceiling above it. I lived there an entire week before I realized I even had a ceiling fan. I thought it was just a weird chandelier of 3 lights that just shook every time the light switch got turned on. You know? That's that. I'm from popcorn ceiling. I've always lived in popcorn apartments, right? I'm from the pop. I grew up below the pop, is what we say. Where I'm from, right? We have a saying in popcorn ceiling, and that's one man's ceiling is another man's floor. So always remember that. If you live in apartments, one man's ceiling is another man's floor, okay? And I'm on the 2nd floor now, so I'm doing pretty well, if you ask me. Climbing my way up. That's right. You guys are so supportive. Fuck, yeah. Are you high right now? Yeah. Hell yeah. With the wine, too? Maybe? All right, I'm not a real cop. You can... I don't think they wear Bush Light part of their uniform, so. You okay? All right. But yeah, that's where I'm from, popcorn ceiling, right? I always had popcorn. Like, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but like your parents don't tell you that you don't have money when you're a child, because that would be horrible to tell a kid every single day, right? Like 7 a.m., your parents are like, hey, the school bus is coming. Get good grades, please get us out of here. Just close the door. Like, you can't tell a child that, okay? There were hints, right? Our hints were games. They made poor games all the time, okay? And, like, this was a big one in our household. We played dinner in the dark. Did you guys ever play dinner in the dark? Eating on defense, as I call it. I'm like, why are we eating in the dark? And he's like, the electric man. I'm like, he's scary. Is he coming for my food? All right. It was so good. I was going to breakfast sometimes, you know? Like, I had a leaderboard every single week in my house, right? Didn't even have name brand cereal until I was 23 years old. I was eating a knockoff of everything. Like, the first time I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I ate that, and I was like, this is what cereal's supposed to taste like? We should have more fat kids. This stuff is delicious. Just give it away to everybody. I was eating the knockoff of that for years. I was eating Cinnamon Bread Crunch, and I had to toast it myself, you know? Do you know how hard it is to toast Cinnamon Bread Crunch in a teeny tiny toaster? Big enough for one piece at a time? In the dark on top of that? Is it just over the head because you guys got money? Or, all right. It's fine. It's not for everyone, man. You guys don't have popcorn ceiling. I get it. It's fine. You know, I think I'm officially old now. Like, I feel like I'm 27, but like I'm old now. You guys shaking a little bit? No? I think this is the age when you're, because I tell people, I'm like, I feel old. And they're like, how old are you? I'm like, 27. I'm like, well, and then they just walk away. You know, like, because, like, I don't know. Like, I just realized I'm not going to be drafted into the NFL. Like, I never even tried. But, like, I see kids go and play, and I'm like, I could probably. And everyone's like, don't even try. Don't even. That's how old I am now. I'm just past that. Like, it's been a long 27 years. It's been a lot of life in that. Like, from 16 to 23, I was a mechanic professionally. In that time, I was in a long-term relationship. I was engaged. I was going to be a soon-to-be stepdad. I got cheated on by a coke-dealing biker. I was homeless. I got evicted. I got robbed. Like, it's been a long life, okay? It feels more like, less like 27 years and more like 9,894 days. But who's counting, you know? That's where I started. Like, I'm in comfy shoe phase right now. Like, that's the age I'm at. Comfy shoe age. You're not. Hey dudes? Those hey dudes? Those are nice, right? That's what I got on. That revolutionized sex for white people when they came out. Hey dudes came out, and then it was just like, no, babe. I'm wearing hey dudes all day. I'm going to make love to you standing up tonight, you know? My joints are limber. Like, we're going to go for a good 20 minutes, maybe, right? But, like, hey dudes is white person FUBU. Like, that is for us, by us, you know? All right. I'm in comfy shoe phase, and that sucks because, like, the last age I was in was, like, I might still be getting taller, you know? No, you're not getting taller. As a matter of fact, you're getting shorter because all the compounded stress on your knees. Buckle up, time to get comfy shoes. As a matter of fact, just get buckles, get slip-ons, nothing with laces. This is your life now. Is this not funny? Is this too real? Let's have it. All right. This is my life. I'm bleeding for you people. All right. Like, when I was 18, okay, like, I went and I worked at a truck stop. All my friends went to college, and I didn't go to college. I was working at a truck stop, and that's probably a bumper sticker somewhere, right? I didn't go to college. I worked at a truck stop. They were off learning about whatever you learn about after the Pythagorean theorem, right? And then, like, I was learning about the real world, okay? Like, for my shift was Tuesday through Thursday, I was 4 p.m. to midnight. Saturday and Sunday, I was 8 a.m., or midnight to 8 a.m., okay? 4 p.m. to midnight, midnight to 8 a.m. Every single week. 18 years old, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about life, right? Like, I learned what lot lizards were. Hell yeah. You know a lot lizard? You're excited like you used to lot lizard yourself, but don't share a drink with her. All right. Like, I didn't know what they were, right? Like, I remember my first day when someone, like the service rider, we were sitting there at the truck stop, and he was like, you see that girl? See the one crawling up the side of the truck right there? Call them lot lizards. And I was like, I don't think that lizard's selling insurance, you know? Unless she's got, like, a tramp stamp that says insurance arrow down or something, but I learned what they were, right? If anyone does not know, lot lizards are sex workers that frequent truck stops, okay? And I learned the difference between the 4 p.m. lot lizards and the 4 a.m. lot lizards. 4 p.m. lot lizards, the day walkers, as I call them. Confident, pretty, lots of leather, cheetah, smell nice. 4 a.m. lot lizards? They know when the breakfast menu comes out. Like, no, if you've ever taken a lunch break at 4 a.m. so you, McScarlet, can go to McDonald's that still has the cheap McChickens, but you haven't lived until you've done that. No? I lost that one on that? Okay. You guys loved lot lizards up until McDonald's, so I don't know. Big BK crowd, huh? You ever taken your lunch break to Burger King for 69-cent chicken nuggets? All right, whatever. I don't know, man. That's what I think, right? I do a lot of comedy on the road. Like, a lot of times I'm in truck stops, and I went to this one time. I was like, I just got to eat something. It's like 2 a.m. And I walked in to Subway that was attached to it, and I went to the guy. I was like, hey, do y'all still have, like, $5 footlongs? And this is like a 17-year-old kid, looked up from his phone, scoffed at me. And he's like, you're not going to touch a footlong for anything less than $15. And I'm like, lower your voice. Why did you say it like that? Like, chill out. I got to walk through this lot again, and I got the curls. They're going to think I'm the insurance lady, you know? Don't say that shit, right? That's what? All right. After the truck stop, did a lot of other jobs. Like last job I did before like I really got into comedy was I was working for moving companies. You guys ever like hired movers before? You guys moved before? I do some shows in these towns and they're just like, no, my great grandfather built that house. He still lives in it. He's shackled in the basement. We can't let him out, but he still lives there. So like I've worked for moving companies, and it's really weird because when you work for a moving company, people treat you like you're a furniture expert. I'm only there because I'm a little bit stronger than the old ladies that called me, you know? Like I just show up and they're there and then just talking to me the entire time, and I'm like, yeah, no, I wish your nephew would call you occasionally too. I wish he was doing this job also. You're right, you know? Remember my first day on the job, I showed up and this lady was like, oh, thank God you're here. I need you to grab the buffet from the foyer. And I was like, you got it. And then like for 15 minutes I walked around trying to figure out what any of that meant. Because up until this conversation, I thought buffet just meant food. So just like looking in the fridge and I'm like, you want me to move your food? Like this job rocks. I'll move your food. Also, foyer, I thought was just like the word foliage. I got them confused, so I thought she just had like a bunch of leaves in her house. I'm like, no wonder you're moving. You got food in your leaves, and you probably got bugs. Like, I can get you the hell out of here. She then sat me down, right, and she told me what the foyer was. And I don't know if you ever had someone explain to you a room that you're too poor to understand. But she sat me down, which was very like disrespectful. She's like, all right, come here, poor boy. The foyer is the room between the front door and the hallway. And I was like, do you mean the kitchen? Because, like, I grew up in apartments. I have no idea what you're even talking about. There's no other option. Like, I come from popcorn ceiling. You got naked babies painted on yours. Like, we're not even the same tax bracket right now. I did find out that, like, there's a lot of similarities between movers and, like, strippers. No, they didn't get weird, but, like, yeah. I'll do anything for the money, you know, but, no, because just old women, right, and they just catcall you the entire time that you're working, because, like, I come to them, I'm in a uniform, I'm getting sweaty, right, like, the only difference is, like, I will handle their box no matter the condition it's in. That's gross. All right. Growing up, my dad had this weird fear that he was going to get in a car accident, and that they were going to have to take his arms so that he could survive. This was before all of the edibles, by the way. This was a sober thought that he had. It was in like 2nd grade to like 4th grade. He told me all the time. He's like, one day I'm going to get in a car accident and they're going to take my arms. I was like, who is they? Because you're making it sound like it's not